The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the Soul of Excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
I began to get innumerable texts from friends, from foes, from constituents about what was happening in that hearing. And I got a text from Jeffrey Epstein, who at the time was my constituent, who was not public knowledge at that time that he was under federal investigation. And
they're huge.
Who was sharing information with me.
Know that Epstein had property in the Virgin Islands, right?
Yes.
What was your relationship with Epstein?
So Jeffrey Epstein was a constituent. He was a resident of the Virgin Islands, lived there, I guess, more than half of the year because he was registered there. I had received donations from him after the last investigation came out, which was after this texting. I gave any donations that I previously received from him to women's organizations and did not have any contact with him. But like many constituents, individuals get your phone number, they text you about issues, they speak with you. I have spoken with him about issues that are relevant, things that are going on in the Virgin Islands and elsewhere around the country.
The unbelievable Stacey Plaskett, a delegate from the Virgin Islands, explaining ad nauseum on CNN her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, constituents, they just get your number out of thin air. I mean, it seems to me, given the scandal that she had with her telephone, she'd be a little careful. If you don't know, Stacey had a problem. Pictures of her sans clothing got out. And apparently, quite titillating pictures. But it didn't buy it. And, of course, the GOP in the mix with this Epstein stuff. Last night, 3 Republicans, Don Bacon of Nebraska, Lance Gooden of Texas, and Dave Joyce of Ohio, jumped across party lines to shake it up with the Democrats so that they would not censure Stacey Plaskett. And there are a lot of Republicans upset about that, a backroom deal apparently to protect a member of their own, Corey Mills of Florida, who has been accused of domestic abuse and financial misconduct, claims he denies. But Democrats now expected to withdraw their censure measure against Mr. Mills as a quid pro quo for these Republicans joining Democrats to make sure that Stacey was not censured. And this story, I mean, we have one more of Stacey from the House. No, she was on CNN. Cut 2. This is a follow-up with that discussion that she had on CNN with Wolf Blitzed.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth. Having a friendship with him is not something that I would deem to have. And so I'm just looking forward. I'm moving forward. And I think that that's what we as American people should do, is move forward. If individuals are not involved in illegal activity, extending his criminal enterprise or his financial enterprise or all of those things, I think that we need to look at what people are doing moving forward.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes, and as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can.
She's pretending that she did not know. And the wording on this, was he your buddy? well, I would not deem to do. She never said, the guy's not my friend, never was my friend. I never had any, I didn't have relations with that man, Jeffrey Epstein, whatever those relations might be. And by the way, I'm waiting for the media. They would do this if it were Republican. I'm waiting for somebody in the mainstream press to try to dig out her returning, she says, the donations to women's groups. What women's groups did you give those donations to? Where are the records of your giving them donations? Produce it. Because her story's unbelievable. And if you just listen to this nonsense, if you read the transcripts of the text messages between her and Stacey Plaskett, it's not just some little and this is after they all knew what he was. A predator. And now she's trying to gloss it over. Oh, he's just another constituent. It's so full of it. Hakeem Jeffries also had to take a few questions regarding first of all, Hakeem Jeffries was asked about Plaskett. Cut 4. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Hakeem Jeffries, minority leader for Democrats. And just you tell me whether he ever really answers the question that's posed to him.
During the very high profile Michael Cohen hearing, Stacey Plaskett was in direct communication with Jeffrey Epstein, and this was after he pleaded guilty to sex crimes. This is after the Miami Herald investigation into all these heinous acts. So why as a Democratic leader, why are you okay with that?
I expressed my position on the floor yesterday. My statement speaks for itself. In a bipartisan way, the resolution that was introduced targeting Stacey Plaskett was defeated. And it was defeated for several reasons, including the fact that it was a dramatic overreach related to throwing her off her committees.
But what about
Democrats?
Her actions?
If you're going to ask a question, you got to let me answer. Democrats and Republicans defeated the censure. Stacey Plaskett has made clear her position as it relates to Jeffrey Epstein repeatedly, and her words speak for itself.
She said, quick, I'm next.
Thanks.
I'm up next.
Thank you, Leader. Now, following up.
Yeah, so, right. By the way, this is James Golden. It's Snerdley here with you. Fastest hour in American media. Both Snerdley's Rush Hour, Wednesday edition. Welcome. Now, Hakeem Jeffries was also axed, a little Ebonic language there, in our outreach, continuing outreach to members of the community, axed about his own Jeffrey Epstein issue, cut 5. This, and I'm going to have to just cut him, well, let's listen to it first. Cut 4.
I'll ask you about you, because the White House has been highlighting an email that I'm sure you've seen today that Jeffrey Epstein got in 2013. They say it shows you were soliciting money and dinner from an Epstein. The email was not sent from you. It was sent from a political consulting firm called Dynamic SRG that says, we are thrilled to announce we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Shoot us an email or give us a call if you would like to get involved. What's your response? Do you recall that email being sent to Jeffrey Epstein from that team?
Yeah, of course, I have no recollection of the email. I've never had a conversation with him, never met him, know nothing about him other than the extreme things that he's been convicted of doing. And that's why, I'm just strongly supportive of the effort, backing the survivors to make sure that everything can come out, whatever is in those Department of Justice files.
So you never got a donation from Jeffrey Epstein or anything like that?
Certainly not.
I never met him. I don't know anything about him. Who doesn't know anything about Jeffrey Epstein? Hakeem Jeffries must be the only person that doesn't know anything about Jeffrey Epstein. Except, I don't know him. Never met him. No. So we're to believe that, and I'm going to leave room for doubt on this. You get a fundraising operation, and they send a letter to Epstein, and he claims he doesn't know anything about it. All right, as much as it pains me, I must be fair. That is possible in the world of political fundraising. It is possible that your fundraisers just put together, compiled a list of big donors to the Democrat Party, sent them a list. Hey, we're working with such and such. You want to jump on this? Let us know. That is possible. So I see a lot of people on social media saying, oh, he took money from Epstein. He did not take money from Epstein. That would have been discovered if he did. Well, let me just put it like this. So far, it appears that he has not taken money from Epstein. It would have shown up on some of the reporting, and people are digging into that. So far, it looks like he could be telling the truth when he says he didn't take any money. If he's telling us he never met him, okay, I'm willing to take Hakeem Jeffries' word for that. Because that's certainly something that could be, checked into to a degree. But, okay. Then you had Jamie Raskin, who was on the House floor. Yes, we'll break now. Defending Stacey Plaskett. But we'll get to that. And I'm going to leave this Epstein stuff. Got a few more things to say about it, but it's not going to dominate the show today because there's some other things going on. Charlotte. We're going to talk Charlotte today. What is happening, folks, in Charlotte is monumental. And it should be a history lesson for all of us. And there are other things, too. Of course, President in the news and so many other things. So, Snerdley, fastest hour in American media. James Golden, Snerdley, do not go away. A lot more coming back.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Oh, Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Now, as I mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, before the break, Jamie Raskin has had some issues here of his own. He is being looked at for perhaps being involved in going past a Bureau of Prisons regulations and maybe even who knows what else to get client privileged emails from Ghislaine Maxwell, and which he used on the Ghislaine, I call it Ghislaine, on which he used during hearings. And that should be thoroughly investigated to see if there's any wrongdoing. But he's one of the ones standing up with some lame explanation for Stacey Plaskett. He was asked about that. Well, he was the topic of conversation. James Comer, the House Oversight Committee, was asked about that last night on Fox, and they play part of Raskin's defense of Plaskett. So let's cut 6. Let's listen into that, and let's listen to Comer on Raskin on Plaskett.
They've arraigned a Democratic member for taking a phone call from her constituent, Jeffrey Epstein, in the middle of a hearing, and of course, I don't think there's any rule here against taking phone calls.
Congressman, your reaction to all this?
Well, I've said many times Jamie Raskin's full of crap. He's the definition of congressional hypocrisy. Can you imagine if that were Donald Trump or me or some Republican that Raskin doesn't like that was texting with Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender who the Democrats have now become obsessed over because they hope and pray that he has something to do with Donald Trump. If we were texting with him during a committee hearing, I mean, it's preposterous. Remember, Jamie Raskin appointed Stacey Plaskett to be on the impeachment, to be an impeachment manager of Donald Trump. And here we find out she was communicating with Jeffrey Epstein in a plot to take down Donald Trump. So for Jamie Raskin to try to defend that on the House floor in front of America is par for the course for Jamie Raskin, but it's the definition of hypocrisy.
Okay, there's a lot of hypocrisy going around. on D.C. Now, also, CNN last night had a little exchange. One of their contributors, I guess, and I don't know whether she's an official contributor, but she was on, I think, the Abby show with them, is a woman by the name of Teslin Figaro. I've never heard of Teslin before, but anyway, this little brief excerpt from Teslin.
I want to put something on the table that I thought what Representative O'Connor said today that I found very disturbing when he was talking about this is not what our country's founded on. It actually is. There's another president by the name of Thomas Jefferson who raped 14-year-old Sally Hemings. He was 40 years old. So what we're talking about right now has been going on, not just the thousands of women you're talking about in high school, it's been going on since the beginning of time with powerful men who have taken advantage of young girls and then tried to make it be a love story. So no, I don't think innocent people should have their name disparaged. What I'm trying to tell you is the files are being released. So if you're in the file and you didn't do anything wrong, then yeah, lawyer up. Right. Because it's coming out and people need to know what's going on.
Let me let Josh get a word and then you can.
If you are in the file, and now, look, folks, as much as I would like to take issue with her calling out Thomas Jefferson on familial, I'm related, DNA, related to Thomas Jefferson. Now, his relationship with Sally Hemings is a matter of record now. But I've never heard the word rape in connection. Anyway, we'll be back. Don't go away. Fastest hour in American media continues.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush. Today I get to tell you on why we're closed. As you guys have seen, there have been a huge impact and a huge growth in ICE detentions, Border Patrol presence here in Charlotte, in the Queen City. So right now, there's a lot of uncertainty. We have shut down. We are an ice cream shop that 80%, 90% of our customers are Latino. As of right now, I cannot take the risk to bring my employees to be profiled because a lot of them speak Spanish. They look like me. I look like the profile that they're looking for. So it is a risk that I am not willing to take. Today I get...
Yes, my friends, events happening in Charlotte. We will delve into that. James Golden, Snerdley with you. Fastest hour in American media. Okay, there's so much more on this Epstein stuff, including the story today. Despite congressional action, quick release of the documents is in doubt. That's because Pam Bondi there's a loophole there that gives her rights to make sure that some of the information is redacted. We'll see. Charlotte. It is happening in Charlotte. We played you the cut from that ice cream guy. I have so many more. So let's just delve into what's happening in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. Cut 13. Let's hear that. And then we're going to keep rolling down in Charlotte.
It's one thing to say that ICE is in Charlotte. It's another thing to see ICE in Charlotte and feel helpless. Because it ain't enough protest you can go to. It ain't enough video record. It ain't enough honking the horn to let people know that they're around. It ain't enough warning people on the internet. Because frankly, they everywhere in Charlotte. And it ain't nowhere safe in Charlotte at this point. To see people get snatched out of their cars at a red light, the whole car just vacant in the middle of the road, and they snatching people out. To see the stores empty. To hear that the schools are empty. To see the restaurants closed down. You can feel the fear and the heaviness in the whole city. It's at the point now, anybody with some melanin, they might have some questions for you. Anybody, they don't got proof or nothing. They just run up to you. Like I said, I don't know if there's anywhere in Charlotte to be safe. I've never seen something like this. I've seen them in the woods.
I've never seen nothing like this.
If you find somewhere to be safe, I pray that you stay there for as long as you can.
Ain't nowhere to be safe. The whole point is it's making safe. They have arrested, I think over 200 people, including so many criminals. And this guy is among many others complaining, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Never seen nothing like this at all. Ain't safe. Ain't nowhere to be safe. Everywhere to be safe in Charlotte, apparently. All right, he mentioned the schools are closing, the restaurant. Folks, there are pictures coming out and images coming out of Charlotte. There was an image taken at a Home Depot where normally it will be busy. Parking lot is just like, looks like Sunday right before closing at a Home Depot. It's not that many cars in it. A woman took a video of a walkthrough in a major supermarket, and the aisle's empty. You had the guy complaining about his ice cream shop. You see other businesses empty, and people are complaining. But then you get to the story of what's happening in Charlotte schools. Here is a teacher, cut 14 colors, a teacher, giving us a quick glimpse of what is happening in schools in Charlotte this week, now that ICE is in the neighborhood.
Class typically has 16 students in it. We had 4.
District-wide, there are 145,030 students enrolled in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. On Monday, 30,399 were absent, 28,136 unexcused. While CMS doesn't break down the numbers by ethnic origin, Gillespie, a multilingual teacher, did.
Children of parents from Angola, from Vietnam, but the students whose parents come from Latin American countries were the students we were missing. So that was kind of the line, even among the ML students, is that we were missing Hispanic students.
Almost 28,000, if you get this right, 28,000 in a school system that has 200,000, not even 200,000 kids. 28,000 called out. 28,000, which is a chunk of the overall school population. What does that tell you? Cut 15. And you add that with this. And what does this tell you?
Just no customers. No customers. People are scared to come out. It's hard. It's hard for my community. For example, normally like on a Sunday we would have like all 6 registers going at all times. 2 registers, maybe 3, but the sales as far as that has gone down. But not only the sales, it's just like our regular customers. Our regular customers, we don't wondering, make sure they're okay. Or like our regular Sunday customers, we didn't see none of them yesterday. So, obviously, I'm guessing they're scared, to come out. So, I would be too.
I've definitely seen a drastic drop in businesses. Everything's been dropping. People are scared to go out. Businesses next to us don't even dare to open. So it's really bad right now. It's never been this empty. Never. Not even before, when the ICE was kind of here. But,
beginning of the year?
Yeah, but now it's never been this empty. This parking lot has never been emptier.
That is in Charlotte. And then you have other people complaining about it. Like this young man who happens to be African-American, cut 16, is complaining about the ICE raids because it impacts him. And how does it impact him? Well, let's listen in, shall we, to this story.
This is the ICE, man. Y'all gotta stop, man. Damn Hispanics don't even want to come to work, man. Now y'all with my bread. Y'all with my bread. Now it's my cheese, man. Look at this. This is the quietest I ever seen a work site on a damn Tuesday.
Yeah, he's showing us around.
No nails, no hammers, no screws, no banging. Come on, take a walk with me. Look at this. By the way, I'm an appliance installer. We gotta drop our appliances off, right? We supposed to install them and we make commission off installations. Only thing we get to install is this. And that ain't no damn money. But wait, it's not fully installed because no outlets, no countertops, no trim for the gas line, and again, no outlet. Word to me, now y'all playing with my damn bread. Like ain't nothing done. Leave them alone.
Leave them alone. You're messing with my cheese. And folks, there were major construction projects. One guy had a video showing major construction. We're talking high rises here. Multiple high rises. And it looks like they're putting up a big development of either housing or something. And on this huge construction site, there were 3 people. Three people working. Everyone else was not there. Gone. This guy was at a huge housing development for residential housing. It was like they were doing an entire development. And the place was vacant. And he's ticked off because he can't do the installs because the other work that has to be done, installing the electrical outlets, putting in the counters, making sure the cabinetry is done. Nobody's there to do it. And he's very upset. Well, I have news for you. Not everybody, though, is upset. Where a lot of the people that you've heard today are upset what's happening in Charlotte. We have one, an African-American woman, language, I hope we caught it all because she was hot, but she, cut 17, doesn't seem to be upset by what's happening at all. And this is her reaction to the ICE raids that have literally shut down a lot of activity in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Where's the outrage for the Americans? Where's the outrage for our American children? Here we have ICE on the street doing their federally obligated duty, and you see Marie in the back talking about, oh my God, why are you racist? Why are you taking him? You take him as a family. Your family. What about my family? What about my family? You came in here in droves. You walked in my house and tried to rearrange it. I'm supposed to adapt to you? Absolutely not. My daughter got in the car yesterday and said, Mom, I was able to breathe in the corridors at school. My children didn't even get to experience the type of high school that I had, where we had 2 15-minute breaks and a 55-minute lunch, and we were able to go off campus. Theirs is 20 minutes because they have an influx of students they're trying to feed. Get them in, get them out, quick. I dropped off my son in the drop-off line today, and it was 8 cars as opposed to 85. You know how much stress that is for these children, all these people? Get out! And I remember last year, my son was a senior. He said, Mom, in math class, we couldn't even learn math because the teachers would spend half of the period trying to teach Edgar how to say hello. When you have such an influx of people coming into one country, there's going to be hiccups. So yeah, ICE might pick up illegal by accident. You better carry your papers. Thank the Democrats for keeping the border open. Thank you for these illegals who try to come in here and do this the shiesty way. That's what happens when you do the wrong way. I have no sympathy or empathy for you. Not at all. If it was that easy to become a U.S. citizen, everybody would do it, but it's not. Welcome to life, motherfucker.
Like I said, she's a little angry, but at the same time, a little bit appreciative. Now, I just have one thing to say. This young man that was complaining that the cheese, my cheese is being messed up with ICE. What has ever happened to the entrepreneurial spirit in America? I'm very serious about this. I'm an appliance guy. My cheese is being messed up. Instead of looking at opportunity, and this goes for a whole lot of other people that are complaining about their lot in life. Right now in Charlotte, there is an opening for people that know how to do stuff. Do you know how to work with electricity so that you can go in and do things like install outlets? Do you know how to use your hands to install a countertop? If you don't know how to do those things, you might know people that know how to do those things. So if I'm looking at this, and if I'm a young man and I'm I want to make some money, I want to advance myself, I'm looking at what's happening in Charlotte, I'm putting together a posse. I'm putting together a crew of people who know how to work with their hands, who know how to do stuff. And I'm trailing ICE. Everywhere that ICE announces they're going to raid, that's where we're going. And we're going to call in advance. We're going to find the general contractors. We're going to find out who we can subcontract with. Because guess what? There is money to be made. Especially in the construction area, or even if you're not that adventurous. Landscaping. All the jobs that people don't want to do because they're afraid, because they came in this country illegally and have been living illegally because Democrats welcomed their illegal entry and their illegal staying. They welcomed and sanctioned them being on the taxpayer rolls. Schools are so crowded. Why? Not because of American kids, because of illegal immigrants, which explains, by the way, why the teachers' unions don't want to see ICE enforcement. They're out complaining about it. It's all about money because they get money based on student population. Population goes down, there's not that much money. So the Democrat Party is built on supporting illegal immigration, everything from the number of congressional seats they have to how they fund their welfare programs and this never-ending cheese that they hand out. But if you are a young entrepreneur and you know how to do stuff or organize people that know how to do stuff, there is a great opportunity for you right now to make yourself a very, if not wealthy, on your way to it. James Golden, Snerdley.
Rush. This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Oh, Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush. Now, here's James Golden.
My friends, have you ever seen that picture, very famous picture of North Korea? You see, of just Korea, North and South, at night. The South is lit up like what you would expect, a country that is well developed. Lights everywhere. You see it from space. And the North is almost completely dark because of the lack of the electricity grid, societal development. Bill Maher talked about that. I've been trying to play this for the last week. We have an opportunity to play it now. Here it is.
Here's capitalist South Korea at night from space. Here's socialist North Korea. Yeah. In 1990, Venezuela was wealthier than Poland. But then Poland, finally free of Soviet-style economics, went all in on capitalism. And now their economy is as big as Japan. And people there have high wages, low inflation, cars, vacations, homes. Meanwhile, Venezuela traded capitalism for Hugo Chavez's socialism for the 21st century, which turned out to be like socialism in the last century, or any century, a mess. It turned one of Latin America's richest countries into one of its poorest. Low wages, high inflation, shortages, outages, 8 million people fleeing. If you think New York can somehow reinvent this wheel, you're in for a rude awakening. Zoran can't make your wishes come true. You're thinking of Zoltar.
That's just great. We're leaving you today with blood, sweat, and tears, my friends. Philippius, born on this day. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude for your being here with me, allowing me to be with you. God willing, we are back for the Thursday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Until then, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?